Hey everyone, today we are here to watch a ZYIA training, and this is a training on mindset. It's called Your Mindset is Your Greatest Asset, and this is one of the top MLM coaches. This is one of the top ZYIA reps, tippy top, and she is one of those that block me on all social media. I wonder why, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. And inside info, I asked for this back when I covered the ZYIA Summit from this year, but as always, I'm a little bit late. Well, no, last year. I keep forgetting that by the time this comes out, it's gonna be 2023. This was yet another rep that shared some of the insights about the ZYIA Summit. So we're gonna read that first, and then we're gonna go into our mindset training. And it's getting very late, so let's just put a little disclaimer in here, and don't forget to click that like and subscribe button if you would like to support me. And I don't know why I'm doing this with my hand. I'm sorry. I guess I'm getting a little bit tired. It is almost 11 p.m., but I needed a distraction, which is why I'm recording a video. Okay, so ZYIA Summit inside info. The summits are completely rep funded. The only exception is a single happy hour company and sometimes team events, meaning the top of your upline is paying for whatever meal or activity you have. The people in the fancy clothes that you saw were at the executive gala, which is an event the night prior to summit officially beginning. Only executive ranks and above are invited. It's a very powerful tool for FOMO, given you have to earn your rank each month. Remember, for many of these women, the only friends they have are in ZYIA. See also cult tactics, cut off anyone who doesn't support you. So if all my best pals are going to the gala, I'm going to feel like a big idiot if I can't earn my way there as well. Gala mindfuck aside, every rep is investing in airfare, hotel, a ticket to the summit event itself. Was around 100 when I was in, but that was 4 years ago. It sounds insane from a financial perspective, but if you live your life on social media and your only friends in the world are all posting pictures and videos together, you're gonna be there too. I've heard people justify the cost of these types of things by positioning it as a girls' weekend, friendship, etc. Oh yeah, they do that very often. Given the current job market, I don't think any MLM can really use the job flexibility argument anymore, but they've got a belonging down to an art. Summit is all about FOMO. This is what we heard before. I don't understand, because I've had some posts from ZYIA top reps before. She was advertising these trips. My chair is just completely she was advertising the trips to the summit as completely free and fly first class with me and things like that. And we've heard from 2 reps by now that no, that's not true. All of the reps have to fund the trips themselves. It's hotel, it's your ticket to get there, or fuel, it's your ticket for the event itself, which is always above 100. Both of the former reps said 100 or 160 or 80. So the prices went up. So that is an insane amount of money. But like she said, fear of missing out. These people are usually only talking and only hanging out with all of these other ZYIA reps. So if all of your friends or who you think are your friends are going somewhere, of course you want to be involved. So they do whatever it takes to get themselves on those trips as well, which is it's so manipulative. It's so sad. But also I always laugh now when I see FOMO, because I don't know if you have seen that reel a few months ago, but it was this dude sitting being like, I don't have a FOMO, I have a ROMO, a relief of missing out. But anyway, let's get into this training. And if you are a rep that hasn't shared your story, or if you have anything else to add on, please feel free to email me or send me messages on Instagram. If I don't respond to you on Instagram, I probably didn't see your message, because whenever I see anyone from my YouTube messaging me on Instagram, I respond and everything. But yeah, let's just get into this training. So
is from The Difference Maker by John Maxwell, making your attitude your greatest asset. So he's saying your attitude is your greatest asset. I would say like your mindset definitely is, in my opinion, hands down, the greatest asset you have. So when you think about your mindset, when you think about your attitude, I feel like they can be a little bit interchanged. Your mindset about things truly is a difference maker. Your attitude about how things are going, what things look like, really is the greatest part of what you have as a tangible thing to move forward, right? You might not always, be the fittest. You might not always be the most talented. You might not always be the this or that in the room. But man, if you can really work on your mindset and your attitude, and you can work on having the greatest attitude, like that's not something that people can be like, well, I have a better attitude than her. It's like, no, like if you have a great attitude, you have a great attitude, right? It's not something that can like be measured, if that makes sense, against something else. Okay. So something that he talks about is that failure is your fortune. So I wanted to talk about failure because I feel like with mindset and your attitudes, if you're not succeeding, you're such a failure, right? And failure has such a negative connotation. And nothing is truly like you're a failure or it's a failure, right? So there's 10 things that he talks about. Change your attitude, change your vocabulary. The odds don't matter. Failure leads to success. Laugh and learn. Mistakes are lessons. Don't lose your perspective. Failure shouldn't be too familiar. Learn from failures to gauge growth and opportunities, to gauge growth opportunities, and do not give up. So,
okay, let's talk about this a little bit. The odds don't matter. The odds matter. Okay, let's just put that out there. If you have 99% of chances of losing money with this business, failure leads to success is not necessarily true. Failure can lead to success if you keep trying. However, it does not lead to success every single time. Success doesn't happen for everyone all the time. If it was so, everyone would be doing their dream jobs or whatever. But that's just not what happens, unfortunately. So I just love how in a business where 99% of people, well, ZYIA does not have an income disclosure statement. I'm just gonna put that little disclaimer out there. So when I say 99%, I'm simply quoting the FTC's statistics on multi-level marketing companies out there. So up to 99% of people earn very little to no money in MLMs, which is what I'm referring to. Failure is your fortune is a perfect way to manipulate something and adapt it to MLM to make people stay in the MLM and keep trying and keep hustling, because failure is your fortune and success happens after failure. So they keep being told these things. You just have to keep going, you just have to keep trying, and you're going to succeed. That's not a rule that when you fail, you're eventually going to succeed. It doesn't happen for everyone. It doesn't happen for 99% of people in MLMs.
The first one is change your attitude. So he talks about being tenacious about success, refusing to quit. Okay. So to change your attitude, you cannot let failures defeat you, right? You have to have an attitude that says, I fulfill my dreams, I achieve my goals, and I live life to the fullest. If you can change your attitude, you really can see failures as opportunities, right?
Okay, but how are you living your best life if you are investing money and time and effort into something that's not giving you anything in return? Yet you were promised that this is going to give you time freedom, financial freedom, but everything that you're doing is losing money on this biz. After a certain amount of time, it's okay to take a look at what you're doing and how you're performing and say, well, okay, this is not going great and it's time for me to give up and try something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes giving up is the best choice. This is just manipulation, in my opinion, to get the people to stay, but they're not getting anything in return. They can do so much better than being in a MLM.
The second one is change your vocabulary. And I loved when he mentioned this in the book. He really strongly suggests, instead of saying if only, change it to next time. And he said this in regards to like, if only I hadn't yelled at my kids. Next time, I'm not going to yell at my kids. Or if only I had said X, Y, or Z. Next time I'm talking to someone about becoming a rep, I'm going to say X, Y, or Z. Okay. Failure isn't a failure if you do better the next time. So if you learn from what you say, what you speak, what you put out into the universe, and you change what you're what you're vocalizing, you can really change things in your life and in your business. He talks about top performers don't describe a failure as a failure. Instead, they use words like, it was a learning experience, it was tuition paid, it was a detour, an opportunity for growth. So something that I can speak to with this is, somebody could say, well, you failed in your past 2 businesses, or you failed here or there. Instead, I think of it as, I learned things in those businesses that helped me to get onto this path to know what to do in these situations, or to do, X, Y, or Z, right? So vocabulary and how you speak about your life, how you speak about things that are happening to you, it can seem so small and so insignificant, but I promise you, you guys, your vocabulary and changing the way you speak about life, it really is the difference maker. The next one is, the odds do not.
Maybe in life and your attitude towards certain things in life. However, if you change the way you speak about your MLM biz, it's not going to have any effect. The odds are still against you, and you're still most likely going to fail and not earn any profit off of it. It doesn't matter in what way you speak about it. It's the statistics. It's just what happens to around 99% of people who join. It has nothing to do with how much effort you put in, how hard you work, or the way you speak about it, or the way you speak to yourself about the biz,
Matter. So anyone who has achieved anything of significance had the odds against them. Okay. Whether that's, I had failed in previous businesses, surely the odds are against me that I'm going to fail again. I have, lost 10 pounds, but I gained 5 back, surely the odds are against me to lose weight because I've done another diet or whatever it is, right? The odds do not matter. You are going to learn something every time that you fail or do something. Okay. He gave this quote. R.H. Headley said, most people think too small, aim too low, and quit too soon. So he gave the learning to walk example, and I had shared this a little bit ago, that Jim Rohn had shared as well. How many times do you let a baby fall down when they're learning to walk? Do you eventually stop the child from learning to walk and you're like, no more failures. Like, you're just not going to get it, right? It seems silly. We need to keep falling down and failing so that we can continue to learn and grow. If we treated ourselves like a child learning to walk in this business, we would never stop. We would never think, oh, I'm never going to learn this, or, oh, I'm just this or that, right? You can do this. Failure leads to success. So he's gave this awesome story that I'm going to share in just a second. Every decision and failure can lead you to success. So something that relates to this is, every time I do a diet or every time I sign up for an exercise program, I learned something from that program. So I think back to all the things that I've done, and I have recipes and foods and ideas for foods that I have learned from every single thing that I've ever done that help me to make my food taste better, or to make me want to continue to eat healthy, right? So technically, am I a failure because, maybe I haven't lost all the weight that I wanted to? I guess, but not really, because I've learned from every single time that I've attempted to lose weight, or that I've attempted to, drop the pounds, that I've worked towards a goal of maintaining a healthy lifestyle, right? So the goal is to not be maybe necessarily a certain size, but it's to be healthy. It's to maintain a healthy weight, right? And every time you're trying to hit that goal of maintaining a healthy weight or maintaining a healthy lifestyle, you're learning things. Maybe you'll learn, I went and did a spin class and I found out I don't like to do spin, but is that a failure or is that a success? Because you learned that you didn't like that type of exercise. Maybe you.
Sure, that makes sense. Okay, but I like how it says there, failure can lead you to success. But just because it can and it could, and there may be a slight chance, doesn't mean that it will. You still have to look at the odds. The odds very much matter. And you have to look at, okay, how much time or money or effort am I spending on this? Is this working? Is this further hurting me financially or in any kind of different way? You have to evaluate the situation. And yes, of course, it's good to have hobbies or something, and not everything has to be transactional in any kind of way. But let's remember, we're talking about MLMs. So when I'm saying these things, I'm specifically just talking about MLMs.
You went and did weightlifting and you realize, I hate to weightlift. It's not for me. And you figure out, oh, I love to do CrossFit, or I love to do, HIIT or something like that, right? Every time you attempt to do something, it is never a failure. You are learning, you are working through that to figure out what you want and what you need out of life. So he shared this story about Oliver Goldsmith. He was born the son of a poor preacher in Ireland in the 1700s. Growing up, he wasn't a great student. In fact, his schoolmaster labeled him a stupid blockhead. He did manage to earn a college degree, but he finished at the bottom of his class. He was unsure of what he wanted to do. At first, he tried to become a preacher, but it didn't suit him, and he was never ordained. Next, he tried law, but failed at it. He then settled on medicine, but he was an indifferent doctor and was not passionate about his profession. He was able to hold several posts only temporarily. Goldsmith lived in poverty, was often ill, and once even had to pawn his clothes to buy food. It looked like he would never find his way, but then he discovered an interest and aptitude for writing and translating. At first, he worked at Fleet Street Reviewer and writer, but then he began to write works that came out of his own interests. He secured his reputation as a novelist with The Vicar of Wakefield, a poet with The Deserted Village, and a playwright with She Stoops to Conquer. My friend Tim Masters says that failure is the productive part of success. It provides the road you don't have to travel again, the mountain you don't have to climb again, and the valley you don't have to cross again. At the time you're making mistakes, they may not feel like the kiss of Jesus, which was Mother Teresa's term for failures that drive us to God. But if we have the right attitude, they can lead us to what we ought to be doing. Okay. So the next one is laugh and learn. Don't take your mistakes too seriously. There is little that you are doing, especially with ZYIA, that is life or death. Okay. Maybe you posted something and it was wrong. Maybe you went live and
yeah, it's not life or death, but it can be you going into debt, which is kind of serious in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that, but if you're literally losing $10,000 on your ZYIA biz, that is a pretty serious mistake. But who am I to say, right?
you did this or that, or it was not exact. You guys, it's not life or death. Okay. Don't take your mistakes too seriously and let things roll off your back, right? Don't take your failures as a failure. Okay. He mentions in the book, no matter how bad things get, learn to laugh, learn to have fun, make yourself the best joke there is, right? And then you don't ever have to worry about anyone making fun of you. Like, I have made every mistake and I will continue to make mistakes. It is just the name of this game. And I have really learned that it is just what I'm going to do. And it's okay. And it's probably why I give so much grace to those who make mistakes or who aren't doing things maybe, just right. It's like, it's okay. You're going to learn. You're going to figure it out. You're going to be able to do better next time, right? 6, mistakes are lessons. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. That is from Robert Kiyosaki. Oh, there's a bad typo. Whoops. Okay, Robert Kiyosaki. This is the mark of a great attitude. You don't lose, you learn. I learned more from the one restaurant that didn't work than from all the ones that were successes. And that's from Wolfgang Puck. Okay. And I can relate to this 100%. I have learned more from the parties that were terrible.
I just realized what the bad mistake is. It says robbery instead of Robert. Oh god, that's funny because you're kind of robbing people out of their time, freedom, and money, in my opinion.
Verbal and didn't go well than I ever learned from the ones that did go well, right? I learned what worked, what didn't work, what I should do better, what I shouldn't do, right? I learned what works with teams, that works well, that doesn't, right? I've learned everything that I've needed to, and I will continue to learn, right? I by no means have figured it out. There are things that I'm probably doing wrong right now that in a couple of years, I'm going to look back and be like, why was I doing that? That was so dumb. Okay. But I don't know what I don't know. I don't know that there's maybe a better way. Just like you don't know what you don't know. You're going to figure it out along the way. You're going to figure out that it was a mistake or not the right thing. It's okay. All right. Don't lose your perspective. So, the football Hall of Fame coach, there was a football Hall of Fame coach. His name is Don Shula of the Miami Dolphins, had the 24-hour rule. Basically what this was is that any success or any failure or mistake or bad thing, you are allowed 24 hours to be really happy about it or really upset about it. You're allowed to be really angry, really sad. And then after 24 hours, you have got to move on. You have got to move on to the next day, the next game, the next week, the next party, right? So I really want you to take that mindset.
Okay, this is a weird thing for me because sometimes some things are gonna hit us different or harder, and 24 hours, allowing yourself only 24 hours to process some kind of emotion doesn't sound like a healthy thing to do for me. Sometimes we're gonna get over it super quick, sometimes it's gonna take us days, even if it's the smallest thing. It just depends on a lot of different factors. Setting yourself to a timer and be like, okay, tomorrow I'm not gonna feel sad about this anymore. That's not really how it works, isn't it? We didn't get this apartment and I'm really sad about it, and I've been sad about it for 2 days now, so I guess I'm not playing by the rules. I should have just been sad for 24 hours, but I prolonged it and now I failed, I guess, but I succeeded in a way. Wow, look at me applying all the lessons that I've learned in this training.
Okay. If you had a really terrible party and it didn't go the way you wanted it to, allow yourself 24 hours to be sad, to be in a slump, to just be down about it. And then after that, you need to move on. You need to look ahead and put a game plan together for the next party. Maybe a conversation went really wrong with a customer or a prospective rep. Be mad about it, be upset for 24 hours, and then move on. Okay. Failure, like success, is a day-to-day process. It is not somewhere you arrive one day. Okay. Failure is also not a one-time event. You have to deal with it in life all along the way. And until you breathe your last breath, you are always a work in progress. Okay. It's not final until you stop breathing. Okay. Once you're done and you've exited this life, you are a work in progress. You are making mistakes. You are learning. You are growing. You are trying. You are learning. Okay. Please give yourself that chance to know, like, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do things wrong. But next time, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do it like this. Okay. Failure also shouldn't be too familiar. So what he means by this is that it's okay to be excited that you came in fourth, because last time you came in fifth, right? That's the right attitude. You should want to be doing better. And something that he referred to as well was the Peanuts comic strip, who has the infamous Lucy. She is quoted to say, "I thought I had it, but suddenly I remembered all the others I've missed. The past gone in my eyes." Lucy was too familiar with her failures, right? Stop looking back. You can't change anything that happened back here. You can only work on today, and you can only hope for tomorrow, right? So stop looking backwards. Look at what you have.
Okay, wait. So failure is leading to success. Failure is fortune. However, you shouldn't be too familiar with failure because it's bad. But I thought we just said failure is fortune. This is very confusing, lady.
Right now, make the decision today that you're going to make the changes to have your business go the way you want it to go, that you're going to do the reach outs, that you're going to do the follow-ups, right? Stop looking back. Okay. This is not where we are, right? We are here today and we are moving forward. The next one is 9, learn from failures to gauge growth opportunities. So this was an awesome story. I'd never heard this before. Baseball player Maury Wills, he played for the LA Dodgers and had more steals from 1960 to 1966. In 1962, he stole 104 bases. He also set a record of the most times being thrown out in 1965. He was caught stealing 31 times in the same year that he stole more bases than any other player. So a lot of us don't recall his failures. We just recall those successes, right? But can you imagine if he stopped trying to steal bases because he was caught? How many times, right? Can you imagine? He was like, well, I'm going to give up because I'm going to get caught. No, he kept trying. He kept going. He was like, I might have been caught last time, but this time I'm not going to get caught, right? So I want you to think of that as, or I want you to think of this as you're working your business, as you're moving forward, right? Like this might have happened last month, but this month is going to be different. It's going to change today. It's going to change this month. Okay. You have to learn to see failure as a friend, a companion to success. Failure and success really do go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other.
Yes, but not in the MLM business structure, because the business is set up for people to fail. And if you see that 99% distributors across all MLM companies earn very little to no money according to the FTC, you keep trying and trying and trying and trying, isn't that the definition of insanity, as something that a lot of MLMs seem to like to quote? But it's literally doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So you're telling people that it's okay to do that, but then in the next training you're gonna say that it's not okay to do that. But an MLM rep is literally the same thing. You're just cold messaging people over and over and over again, hoping that you're gonna manage to recruit them and earn some money off of them. So that's literally what you're doing in an MLM, along some other things, of course. But this is the insane part for me, to just reach out to people constantly every single day and try to recruit them.
Okay. Like, I'm just telling you, it's just part of this, right? The last one is do not give up. Failure doesn't mean you won't succeed. It just means it will take a little longer. Success is getting up one more time than you fall.
No, failure does not mean it's going to take you longer to succeed. Failure doesn't mean that you're going to succeed eventually. It does not mean that. Wouldn't life be a lot more easier if that's how it goes?
You have no idea how close you may be to what you desire to achieve. If you give up, you will never know, and you guarantee that you will never get there. It sounds ironic, but if you have experienced a lot of failure, you are actually in a better position. This was really awesome to hear. If you have failed a lot, you are actually in a better position to achieve success than people who haven't. When you fail and fail and fail again and keep getting back up on your feet and keep learning from your failures, you are building strength, tenacity, experience, and wisdom. Okay. That is why some people who come from another direct sales company, or they've done them before, and then they join ZYIA, they're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Like, I know how to do this, because they failed and they've learned and they know what to do and they know how to, work a VIP group. They know how to talk to people about being a rep. But the first few times they did it, they weren't very good at it, right? None of us are. They probably made mistakes. They probably did things wrong. Okay. So if you failed a lot, celebrate. And as long as you do not give up, you're in a really good place. So this is my little spiel on mindset for you.
So that was a bunch of bull, especially the thing at the end. Like, the more you fail, the bigger chances are that you're going to succeed comparing to other people who didn't fail. That's not a rule. Again, not necessarily how it goes or how it happens. Sometimes you can keep trying and busting your ass for something, and then some noob comes in and just succeeds straight away. It really doesn't have anything to do, like, it's not necessarily what's gonna happen. In my opinion, just a lot of manipulation. Because so many people fail in multi-level marketing, they want to use this and turn this as, I know you're failing and you're massively failing, but trust me, it's a good thing. You just keep going, keep pushing, keep letting me earn money off of your hard work, and eventually you're going to succeed, which again, not a rule, not how it happens every time. But yeah, let me know down below what you thought about this training. Did you learn any valuable lessons? I'd love to hear your guys' opinions, but I'm gonna wrap that up here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button if you would like to support me, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.